This is SCP-999, the Tickle Monster. Safe, Amorious SCP by TheVolgun. I will say, SCP-999, every time I've seen him, he looks so freaking cute. That's why I've always called him my boy. I am very excited to learn about this. Of course, this is supposedly one of the children of the Scarlet King. If you haven't seen that video, here it is right here. You can react to, go watch it, react with me. I say we go ahead and get right on into this. Look at him! Hold on, I can't even start the video. Look how cute he is! Oh my god! Oh, Volgun. You gave me such a cute photo of him.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Dr. Miller, and the SCP we're going to be looking at today is SCP-999. Object Class: Safe. Special Containment.
I think every time TheVolgun has done one of these videos, he's always been Dr. Miller. So I don't know if Dr. Miller is an actual person within SCP lore, but if he is, I'm pretty sure Dr. Miller was also in 231, and I said the comment of him being possessed by the Scarlet King, because every once in a while it would pause and begin doing the the religious rants. So if it is true that Dr. Miller does all these for the Volgun, uh, I think it would be pretty cool if the reason why we get Dr. Miller on specific ones was simply due to the fact that, oh, he's keeping an eye out because he's part of the cult of the children of the Scarlet King and thus keeping track of the actual children.
Procedures. SCP-999 is allowed to freely roam the facility should it desire to, but otherwise must stay in its pen either between 8 p.m. or 9 p.m. for sleeping, or during emergency lockdowns for its own safety.
Oh my god, now you're specific! The only time it's locked up is so it can get an hours of sleep and to make sure it's safe whenever something bad happens. They treat him so nice! Oh, okay, this is for any artists out there. It's completely off topic. I want to have stickers of like a bear holding SCP-999. If y'all ever make them, I have a Twitter. You can find a link down below. Send it there. I have a TikTok. I have the YouTube comments. I have an Instagram. Send it to me. I want to display it. He looks so cute.
Subject is not allowed out of its pen at night or off facility grounds at any time. Pen is to be kept clean and food replaced twice daily. All personnel are allowed inside SCP-999's holding area, but only if they are not assigned to other tasks at the time, or if they are on a break. Subject is to be played with when bored and spoken to in a calm, non-threatening tone. Description: SCP-999 appears to be a large, amorphous, gelatinous mass of translucent
Amorphous. I completely butchered that word. I am so sorry. He's 120 pounds? He quite literally weighed as much as my last dog, which unfortunately passed away. Oh my god, okay. He's legit like a little dog.
Orange slime, weighing about 54 kilograms with a consistency similar to that of peanut butter. Subject's size and shape is easily malleable and can change shape at will, though when at rest, SCP-999 becomes a rounded, oblate dome roughly 2 meters wide and 1 meter in height. The surface of SCP-999 consists of a thin
Okay, hold on. I'm about to go on a random rant. Oblated dome. For anyone that can't really remember, I did a reaction to Children of the Scarlet King. In that, it was talking about, I believe the number was 055, SCP 55, about it looks like a sphere But whenever you quit looking at it, you completely forget about it. And the way I talked about it was like the silence from Doctor Who. Uh, Whenever you fully don't look at it, you completely forget everything about it. So, in order to combat that, you have to do the records while looking at it or being within the vicinity of it. Um, there was a lot of talk of it possibly not being the child of the Scarlet King. This, in a way, I think is a nod because it seems like all the kids would have some way of interacting or resemblance towards each other, even though that they all were from the different brides. I think with the shape that it goes into whenever it is resting, is kind of like a nudge towards, hey, this is another person that is within my family, uh, if that makes sense.
Transparent membrane similar to that of an animal cell, roughly 0.5 centimeters thick, and is highly elastic, allowing SCP-999 to flatten portions of its body up to 2 centimeters thin. This surface is also hydrophobic, although SCP-999 can willfully absorb liquids. See Addendum 999-A.
We
The rest of
gladly will.
SCP-999's body is filled with a viscous orange substance of unknown chemical makeup, though it is capable of digesting organic materials with ease.
Okay.
Subject's temperament is best described as playful and dog-like. When approached, SCP-999 will often react with overwhelming elation, slithering over to the nearest person and leaping upon them, hugging them with a pair of pseudopods while nuzzling the person's face with a third pseudopod, all the while emitting high-pitched gurgling and cooing noises. The surface of SCP-999 emits a pleasing odor that differs with whomever it is interacting with. Recorded scents include chocolate, fresh laundry, bacon, roses, and Play-Doh.
Okay, I find that rather calming, to be completely honest. Chocolate, of course, something that would make somebody hunger or really calm down. Fresh laundry, I think that's kind of a generic term, especially nowadays with how laundry can have multiple different smells, such as lavender, which is known to calm down people. Bacon, of course, it's kind of like that saying of whenever you would wake up on Sunday morning, right before church, and mom would cook breakfast. It's like that smell. It's a home, feel good. I'ma smell this, and it will be almost a good day smell. Uh, Roses, just personal experience, I don't think would be a decent smell. The Play-Doh is the one that confuses me, but at the same time, with the Children of the Scarlet King reaction, we were told that he is an infant, supposedly. And since he's an infant, there's a high likelihood that the Play-Doh smell is a childlike smell, a kind of a showing of the age of this SCP. Uh, so it kind of makes sense. Another weird thing that kind of immediately catches me is how they describe it as dog like. I know I make the jokes of, oh, he's like a dog, but in reality, you know that this is kind of a SCP who, if it's true, him being the son of the Scarlet King, you know that there could be underlining tones. So treating it as if is completely all right would be almost foolish, which would explain why it's still in the SCP and not allowed out. And then with it being ecstatic, immediately wanting to go to the nearest person, hug them, and do all these nice gestures, uh, kind of like how a dog would run up and then immediately jump on its owner and be over the moon and all. So yeah, I they can't say anything though to make me not like this guy.
Simply touching SCP-999's surface causes an immediate mild euphoria, which intensifies the longer one is exposed to SCP-999 and lasts long after separation from the creature. Subject's favorite activity is tickle wrestling, often by completely enveloping a person from the neck down and tickling them until asked to stop, though it does not always immediately comply with this request.
Okay, so it sounds so much like, trying to think of how I can best put this. When I played the games, SCP Containment Breach, opposite of this would happen with such people as 173, 049. These would just be immediate game overs. And when I reacted to SCP 049, it even said it could kill a person just by touching it. So this one, whenever a simple touch happens, it instead causes almost a antidepressant feeling, a feeling of great joy, of happiness, and that it's a long lasting one. I feel like this would possibly be used within the SCP as a counteractive measurement of 110 Montauk. And 110 Montauk is used on the seventh bride who had yet to give birth in order to prevent her from giving birth to thus stop Scarlet King from getting into the world. I think that if this is a son of Scarlet King, it was specifically made to help the D class in order to forget and have a better, less harmful thinking about what they were doing. Besides just going straight to SCP-3000 and taking the amnesia style meds that were coming from the ill.
Though injuries may occur, SCP-999 has never been found to purposefully attempt to harm others, and will immediately back away and contract its body into a quivering mound while gurgling in a similar manner to a whimpering dog.
Oh! No! Oh, that legit brought a tear to my eye. Oh, it hates hurting people. Oh, my boy. Okay, this is going to sound extremely dumb. It said that this thing could uh digest stuff, right? My question is, what would happen if you try giving the I can't remember the SCP number, the pill that heals all injuries. Uh, if you were to take one of those, it sounds far fetched, but if you had it, I think if you were to give it to, let's say, 049, whose entire mission is to try and cure death, is there any way of possibly replicating them? And then if so, please let that happen. I don't want my boy whimpering. It he doesn't mean to hurt people. He just wants to be friendly.
Seemingly apologizing for hurting someone on accident.
Oh.
While the creature will interact with anyone, it seems to have a special interest in those who are unhappy or hurt in any way. Persons suffering from crippling depression or PTSD, for example, have reported having a far more positive outlook on life after multiple interactions with SCP-999.
I will say, the more that this gets talked about, the more I wish it was actually real, as there are multiple different ways that this SCP would be, I don't want to say used, but could greatly benefit humanity. But at the same time, me saying this, I know that there would probably be awful stuff to happen from that. And it almost feels like this SCP was used as a balancing. It might seem so strange to hear this, but as a balancing act. The greatest way I can describe it is at Thanos. How in all of the universe there has to be a balance between good, evil, love, hate, light, dark. With SCP-999 being the light of the SCP Foundation and community and these creatures. And then on the other hand, you have something like the reptile. Uh, it being something good gets given from the kids and something bad. Seems like it had to be both good and bad.
The possibility of manufacturing antidepressants from SCP-999 slime is currently being discussed.
Yep.
In addition to its playful behavior, SCP-999 seems to love all animals, especially humans, refusing to eat any meat and even risking its own life to save others. On one occasion, leaping in front of a person to take a bullet fired at them. Subject's intellect is still up for debate. Though its behavior is infantile, it seems to understand human speech and most modern technology, including guns.
And once again, I feel like that is another hint at this thing is only young, because in the other video, it was talking about how this thing, when it grows up, could possibly could possibly be a big warrior, because that's what was mentioned. Even though it sounds far fetched, if this thing already is understanding a lot of, hey, let's save people, and understands, hey, this could cause harm and all, high likelihood that it would grow up to be almost I don't, almost like a defender, if that makes sense.
SCP-999's diet consists entirely of candy and sweets, with M&Ms and Necco wafers being its favorites. Its eating methods are similar to those of an amoeba. Addendum: SCP-999-A. Reminder to all staff. SCP-999 is not to consume caffeinated soft drinks of any kind.
Why?
Last week, someone gave SCP-999 a can of cola along with its usual breakfast. Not only was it literally bouncing off the walls for half an hour, the carbonation made SCP-999 visibly queasy afterwards, and it refused to move or eat the rest of the day. SCP-999 has thankfully recovered since, but the staff member in question has been reprimanded.
As is deserved. If you so much as harmed this little guy, you deserve to be taken off of looking after him. That is just my standpoint, alright? And yes, this is me saying that I would possibly die for the little gumdrop, alright? That is just me, alright? I do want to say, when it said that it was quite literally bouncing off the wall, if I can find a clip, I will gladly put it up. But there's a clip of the super bouncy ball where the guy dropped it and it just bounced off everything and was like impossible to stop. If you can find it, it is hilarious.
Dr. Addendum: SCP-999-B. The following is a report from an experiment in which SCP-682 is exposed to SCP-999 in the hopes that it will curb the creature's omnicidal rage.
Okay, for anybody wondering, 682, I believe, is the unkillable lizard. This is of course the other child of the Scarlet King, which is believed, due to the fact that one of the wives gave birth to something that would heal from all wounds. People believe it is this. One thing I will state is I understand wanting to curb the giant rage, and it does make sense. However, I think that there might be a underlying tone of the rage cannot just go anywhere. The bad feelings cannot go just anywhere. What I think happens, and this is just me speculating, the rage and the bad feelings instead go to it. However, there's also the chance that if I am right about this, the only reason it's not sticking is due to what it's made of. Again, is it almost a it said like a jelly-like substance. Well, it said peanut butter, but you understand what I mean. It looks almost gelatinous. Nothing would really stick to it. These negative feelings, thus it just bounces off. If I am right about that, I think it would mean that because you can't just take something out. There's always a kind of like a balancing act.
SCP-999 is released into SCP-682's containment area. SCP-999 immediately slithers towards SCP-682.
He's so cute. Okay, y'all do not get a pass from this. Y'all never once told me that the unkillable lizard can talk. I was not ready for that. I don't like that.
SCP-999 moves in front of SCP-682, jumping up and down in a dog-like manner while calling out in a high-pitched squealing noise.
Oh.
SCP-682 immediately steps on SCP-999, completely flattening SCP-999. Observers were about to abort the experiment when SCP...
Nah, you know what? I am a awful writer, but I tell you what, once I learn how to write a story, I'm gonna write my own story where I knock this thing out. Will my character not win the fight? Yes, but I'm sticking up for my little man. That is so awful. Your first instinct is to step on your brother. You know what? I'm not even gonna say that. You step on him. Why? It was nothing but happy and friendly.
682 started talking again.
He's wearing them like a hat. Okay, that's actually funny. He's wearing them like a sombrero. Okay. As you should.
SCP-999 can be seen crawling up from between SCP-682's toes, up along its side and around its neck, where it clings on and begins gently nuzzling with its pseudopod. A wide grin slowly spreads across SCP-682's face.
Okay. Sorry, this is going to be off on our tangent. I just realized what it looks like. I don't know if anybody remembers the movie, but there was a Hellboy movie, the second one, about the Golden Army. Within it, we get introduced to, I believe his name was Samuel. Samuel was a almost like a lizard slash dog looking creature. It was undying. The second you killed it, it would basically multiply. Kill one to grow back in a strange form. That's what it reminds me of. It within this photo. I don't know why, but that's what it reminded me of. Also, another strange little thing that popped in my head is the way that it reacted. I've seen it before, but I can't remember the movie. Where oh yes, I can. It was actually a death battle. It was between Joker and Sweet Tooth. Within it, Joker has a fear toxin that basically makes you laugh until you die. You're unable to get oxygen back in, and you pass away. Joker ended up getting a rod through his organs here and was basically on the verge of death. and was about to die with Sweet Tooth within the almost robot-esque part of the Sweet Tooth mobile. Instead, Joker was able to talk and manipulate Sweet Tooth and getting out, got close, and then Joker came with the Joker gas. This instead began making Sweet Tooth to laugh. And he laughed and was in a happy-esque form until he passed away. So yes, that's what it reminds me of. The creepiness of the laugh, the feeling happy part.
SCP-682 repeats the word happy for several minutes, laughing occasionally before escalating into non-stop laughter. As laughter continues, SCP-682 rolls around on its back, slamming its tail upon the floor with dangerous force.
Once again, this is feeling so much like it was a truth that was said about him being a warrior. Uh, I haven't reacted to the lizard itself, but it feels so much like the 999 was meant as a counter. A hey, they're not going to be able to stop the lizard, so I'm going to instead be made as a direct counter. That's what it's seeming like here, with it saying that it basically incapacitates the lizard for a while.
SCP-682 and SCP-999 continue the tickle fight.
I love how he's weird saying it.
SCP-682 finally wears down and appears to fall asleep with what would appear to be a smile on its face. After 15 minutes with no activity, 2 D-Class personnel enter the room to retrieve SCP-999. When SCP-999 is removed, SCP-682 immediately wakes up and unleashes an unidentifiable wave of energy from its body, all the while laughing manically. All persons within the wave's range collapse into crippling fits of laughter, allowing SCP-682 to escape and slaughter all in its path. Meanwhile, SCP-999 quickly rescues as many persons as it can, taking them to a safe place to recover from SCP-682's laughter wave, while agents suppress and recontain SCP-682.
So, this is going to sound messed up, but what I do know about the lizard is that it adapts. What I think happened was it basically fell asleep, but the second you removed it, it had already adapted the laughter stuff. It had built it up almost like a charge attack. The easiest way I can describe this is if anybody watched when Thor hit Iron Man with the lightning, it recharged the batteries. That's what happened here, where he was then able to release this giant wave. What I do find strange is how it adapted so quickly. And it also seems strange 999 didn't want to leave. It took 2 other people going in after it to get it to leave. It's almost like it knew if I don't move, it won't move. It is that mindset of me going, still thinking of it being a counter.
Despite the tragedy that SCP-682 had brought upon the facility, SCP-999 has not shown any fear towards the creature, and in fact has made gestures suggesting it wants to play with SCP-682 again. 682, however, has stated that feculent little can die.
You know what? For that, you're getting it again. We are putting you out again, and he is going to have a grand old time, and you can't do anything against him.
Memo from Dr. While the test was unsuccessful and ended in tragedy, that had to be the funniest thing I have ever seen. I never thought I'd see the day when I would regard SCP-682 as cute. Please send me a copy of the security tapes as soon as possible. I'm just gonna end this lecture with a piece of advice. Don't try and use 999 as some kind of therapy. It doesn't work, and you just end up getting banned from its pen.
Really?
It happened to my friend. Turns out something that eats M&Ms and Necco wafers doesn't really taste that good when it's coming in, or feel that good when it's coming out.
That's not therapy. That is called... Well, I don't know what you would call that, because it's not directly human, but it was supposedly birthed by a human. At least that's how my head's putting it. And if that's the case, it would be basically a parahuman. But at the same time, it gets a little confusing there. So I don't want to say cannibalism. But at the same time, you're digesting a living creature to try and get... Well, most medicines... Well, those are coming from dead ones. I don't know what you would call this, but please do not try to eat my boy.
I know. Too much information. Sorry, it's been a long week. Anyway. Thank you for listening, if indeed you still are, and you are all dismissed. Goodbye.
Thank you, TheVolgun. You always do amazing work. Let me see if there's anything else real quick. No. For anybody that does not know who this is, give me a second. This is him, TheVolgun. Please come over here, show some love. You can hit like, come over here, turn on all notifications, subscribe to him. The link is down below in the description. While you're over here at my channel, please hit the like, subscribe, share my video around. Leave me a comment down below. What is it you'd like to see next? Anything horror related. Doesn't have to be strictly SCP related. I'm a horror channel. I do FNAF. I do SCP. I do VHS tapes. I do Walton Files. Y'all let me know. My name's been Killer Bear. Right here is a video YouTube thinks you'll enjoy. Right here is where you can hit subscribe using my little picture. And I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye-bye!